Hello FPL managers and welcome back for another video. My name's Jack and today we're going over our team selection for Game Week 33 with the deadline just around the corner. If you guys are liking the FPL videos, drop a like and subscribe. We are trying to hit 12,000 subscribers by the end of the season, so please help us reach that goal. As always, have the notification bells turned on as you don't miss any future FPL videos for the rest of the year. Obviously some big double game weeks coming out that you guys need to stay posted for. So with that being said, let's jump into the video. So first up, let's have a look at how we got on in blank Game Week 32. We didn't actually have a free hit available for blank Game Week 32, so with that in mind, very happy that we were still able to take a green arrow for this game week, as the free hit template did do fairly well. Obviously Saka, Martinelli, Trent, all very popular options in the in the free hit team, which weren't in our team. All those three guys still perform well, but with a couple of other differentials in our side popping up and scoring some good FPL points, we were still able to get on the green arrow this week. Looking at the defenders, wasn't really much joy for any defense in the blank Game Week 32. Obviously Trent, probably the most popular defender for this week that produced points. He got himself 5. Obviously Ben White as well, despite conceding goals, he did get an extra assist, as he's been really good at getting attacking returns recently for Arsenal. So very happy to have had Ben White on the side, since he has been increasing his attacking output. He's getting very far forward, especially in recent weeks. He's overlapping with Saka, getting some good balls into the box, and also making the occasional run into the box as well. And he has been taking maximum advantage in terms of goals and assists, so happy that he was able to produce 4. He was also a bit of a differential that was able to get us some FPL points. But definitely the main damage was done in midfield with our team, as despite Trippier, Botman, Henry and Ramsdale blanking, all three of our midfielders were able to provide FPL points returns. Odegaard, the first one here, got himself a bit of a consolation or a late goal for Arsenal, really trying to get themselves back in that game to make it 3-2. He picked up 7 points. Couldn't unfortunately feature on bonus points, but nonetheless, still 7 is pretty good for Odegaard. I've been surprised that he's been able to produce now 17 points in the last 2 weeks for me. And before this, didn't really have too many goals for Arsenal on the season, so good to see him get himself 2 goals in his last 2 game weeks for the Gunners. That's really helped us out in terms of increasing our rank, as well as he is a decent differential, especially compared to Martinelli and Saka in that Arsenal midfield. Mo Salah, he took the captain's armband. He was pretty good. 7 points doubled up to 14. Good to see him be clinical with his only real chance of the game. Didn't have a massive amount of opportunities apart from his goal that he scored. So despite it being a Trent assist, I'll still take the Salah goal, of course, with him on captaincy. A very well taken finish. So happy that he was able to produce 14 points there. And then definitely the player that I'm most happy with this week and the biggest differential in our side, it was Andreas Pereira. We just originally bought him in for Harvey Barnes to free up some money to be able to afford Tony up to Haaland. Of course, we ended up having to play Andreas this week just because we didn't have any other playing players on the bench. Andreas did get the nod and he got himself a goal. The ball just fell in his lap from the cross off Melier's glove and he blasted it home from very close range there, and then picked up triple bonus points as well. After being originally given only the 2 bonus points, this was upgraded to the 3 bonus points to make it a double-digit haul for Andreas here. So very happy with his 10 points. That was instrumental to our green arrow this week. And looking at the lads up top, Kane and Tony both netting in their games. Obviously Kane getting a consolation for Tottenham in their massive defeat for Newcastle, and Tony adding to his goal scoring this season. Also picked up dual bonus points, which was very nice to see, especially since a lot of people opted to go for Jesus, Watkins and Kane as their front 3 this week. Tony did turn into a sort of a differential compared to their free hit template, so that was good to see there. Tony pick up 9 points. So Game Week 32, 60 points, definitely not the worst considering there was no free hit chip available. A green arrow up to 479k, that is now 5 consecutive green arrows, and I'm really excited with how the team's shaping up for the rest of the season. We've still got triple captain available, and we have a lot of players doubling up in Game Weeks 34, 36, 37, which could really see us increase our rank and hopefully push it into the top 100k. So let's discuss our transfers that we've locked in for for Game Week 33. So we do have 2 free transfers available to us this game week, so it's going to see 2 moves being made, as we are going to use both of these transfers coming into Game Week 33. Odegaard to Matoma is the first move we're looking to make. Odegaard, obviously I'm extremely happy that he's been able to provide FPL points for our team in quite a good way in the last 2 game weeks. 17 points across the last 2 weeks is a really superb output in terms of FPL point scoring for him, especially since Odegaard doesn't have many goals on the year for Arsenal compared to those other popular Arsenal Arsenal mids of Saka and Martinelli. Really happy that he's been able to produce those couple of FPL returns. But I think now is the right time to move him on for Matoma. Nottingham Forest away this week's a great fixture, plus Brighton then double in 34, and they've still got plenty more doubles for the rest of the season after that as well. So I'm definitely going to need triple Brighton in the team, and Matoma probably the best or the second best Brighton asset to own right now in my opinion. I personally think it's between him and March, just two very consistent point scoring midfielders and very well priced as well. Only 5.6 for Matoma, 5.2 for March right now. So I think this move is definitely going to need to be made, especially since Matoma has an ownership of around 75% inside the top 1 million managers. Clearly an extremely popular pick amongst the best FPL players in the game at the minute. And the second move that we're going to make is Tony up to Erling Haaland. Obviously, by getting Andreas Pereira in last week in place of Harvey Barnes, freed up a little bit of money. That move from Odegaard to Matoma then freed up the necessary funds to upgrade Tony to Erling Haaland. Obviously, Tony, in a similar boat to Odegaard, has been good at getting our team FPL points in the last 2 to 3 game weeks. He's been a very instrumental part of our green arrows as well across the last 5 game weeks. But I think now, once again, is the right time to move him on. Brentford's fixtures aren't the best for the rest of the season, and of course, I need to have Erling Haaland in my team. I could have gone Kane to Haaland, but I do think Kane can outscore Tony for the rest of the year, and I think Kane probably a bit more consistent across the season. So I do really like Harry Kane, Erling Haaland, and Watkins as the front three right now. Regardless, though, Haaland does have to be in the team. He's been in superb goal scoring form, 12 points in each of his last 2 games in the Premier League, plus a bucket load of goals in cup competitions as well. So Erling Haaland coming in for Game Week 33. Arsenal at home this week, not the most ideal fixture, but I wanted to get him in early to capitalise on the price changes, as he's already risen in price since we've brought him into the team. So I think it was a good move going for Haaland early. Obviously, he's another player with 2 double game weeks left. He's doubling in Game Week 34 as well, along with Matoma. So I'm really happy with these 2 moves, and I think the team is pretty well set up for double Game Week 34 as it currently stands. Of course, we will probably make one more transfer in between Game Weeks 33 and 34 to get another Manchester United player in, as they are also a side with a couple of double game weeks left. So that'll be, of course, for a future video. But for right now, Odegaard to Matoma and Tony to Haaland are the 2 moves. So with these transfers in mind, here's how the team shapes up for Game Week 33. Overall, a pretty solid team for this game week, especially considering there's triple Brighton in there, as they have Nottingham Forest away. There aren't too many standout fixtures this week amongst popular FPL assets, maybe apart from Watkins with Fulham at home. Everyone else has a decent fixture without it being an absolutely outstanding one, but with that being said, I'm still very happy with the side. De Gea does get the nod in goals. This was a bit of a discussion point with the team, what to do with either Ramsdale or De Gea. I think Spurs away, a slightly easier fixture for a clean sheet compared to Manchester City away. And also, with Arsenal's recent antics defensively, conceding quite a few too many goals, let's just say, in the last 2 to 3 game weeks, I think going for De Gea could be the wise choice here. Manchester United, obviously a team in really good defensive form now, 3 clean sheets in the last 3 FPL game weeks. So I think De Gea is going to be the guy that gets the nod. Obviously, Spurs away, probably not a strong attack as Manchester City as well. And hopefully De Gea can accompany a potential clean sheet, at least with some save bonus points there. Looking to the defenders, are pretty solid starting back 3 right now. There aren't too many great fixtures from a defensive perspective once again amongst popular defenders. Those Arsenal defenders don't really have a good fixture this week. Trent with West Ham away, it's an okay fixture, but I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham score in this one. And this, we've gone with a double up on Newcastle with Everton away. Once again, not a massive standout fixture, but I'm going to have to go double Newcastle defence, as I don't really want to go Ben White against Manchester City or Rico Henry against Chelsea over Botman. That'd probably be the player that drops out of the defence for either Ben White or Henry. But for now, I am happy with having that double Newcastle defence at the minute. Of course, Newcastle didn't really concede too many solid chances to Spurs in Game Week 32. Obviously, they did concede that goal from that very well taken chance from Kane. Apart from that, look pretty solid in this game. Stupinen, of course, is there as well. He's got pretty good attacking potential, and he's got a good fixture of Nottingham Forest away, so of course he gets the nod at the back. Looking to the midfielders, Marcus Rashford, he's back in our side. Obviously, he was a player that we had on the bench. We held him for the last couple of game weeks, and hopefully he's good to go for Tottenham away. Of course, this is an okay fixture. It's not a standout one, but with the form that Rashford's in right now, would not be surprised if he can find the back of the net in this game. If he doesn't take to the pitch for whatever reason as well, of course, we have Andreas there with a pretty solid backup fixture of Aston Villa away. He's coming off 10 points last week, but definitely very happy to have Rashford in the team. I'm glad that we held on to him because now we probably be looking to get him in either Game Week 33 or 34. I also want to try and get Luke Shaw in Game Week 34, and by that time, when Game Week 34 comes around, we would have only had one free transfer available, so we would have had to take a hit to get Marcus Rashford back in, whereas now we've got him in. We don't have to worry about transferring him in. We can prioritize our transfers elsewhere and avoid hits to target our double game weeks. And then to round out the midfield, it's Salah, Matoma, March. I think these are three really strong midfield assets. Could potentially be our three high scoring players in our team this week. Of course, Forest away, a really good chance for Matoma and March to add it to their extremely good form recently in terms of goals and assist output. Those two guys have been instrumental for Brighton's success this season. And Salah, of course, he's been a superb form in recent games for Liverpool, getting back to his brilliant best that we've seen in previous seasons, consistently providing those FPL points. So he takes the vice captain's armband this week against West Ham away. And looking at the front three, it's a very, very strong front three on paper. Kane, Watkins, Haaland, three very good in-form forwards right now. Watkins with the best fixture here of Fulham at home. Hopefully he can pop up with another massive haul. He produced 16 points just a couple of game weeks ago when he was at home. So hopefully he can repeat the trick once again. Fulham at home definitely is the fixture to be able to do so. And of course, Kane or Haaland, both with slightly trickier fixtures. But of course, given the caliber of these players, would not be surprised if they can get themselves on the score sheet. Kane with Manchester United at home definitely will be an interesting fixture. I'm keen to see how this one's going to play out between Man United and Spurs, especially after that massive 6-1 loss Spurs had last game week. It'll be interesting to see, especially with Champions League places on the line. Tottenham really need to put up a good performance in this game, so I could see Harry Kane lift and get himself yet another goal this year. And Haaland, no surprise, he takes the captain's armband. There are definitely a couple of other good options this week. Obviously, Arsenal at home are the easiest fixture, as despite Arsenal's defence being poor in recent game weeks, has been pretty good across the season, but I still think he's going to be able to find himself a goal. Mo Salah could be a good captain as well. Kane, if you've got him, could be a decent shout for captaincy. Watkins could be a huge differential captain with Fulham at home, so there definitely is a decent range of captains that you could go for, but I think the safest option, stick with Erling Haaland and hope the rest of the team can give ourselves the rank rise, as of course Haaland will be a fairly template pick for the rest of the year, and it's pretty much going to be a lock in captaincy for most FPL managers, especially managers towards the top of the FPL rankings. Looking at the bench, double Arsenal is there, Ramsdale, Ben White. Saying that, Ben White also a player that I'm going to look to get to move on. It could be either Ben White or Rico Henry that Luke Shaw comes in for, but we should be able to afford that move with 0.8 in the bank. It should be fairly easy to get Luke Shaw into the team. And Andreas does remain there as well. He's got the first bench slot, Aston Villa away. In case anyone doesn't play, I'm sure he'll be a good replacement for anyone that doesn't play, given his good form recently. And that's pretty much how the team's shaping up for Game Week 33. Overall, fairly happy with it. Let me know what your guys' teams are in the comments as well. I'm always interested to see what teams people are running, especially in the comments. You get a couple of interesting teams in there. So hopefully you guys surprise me with some good teams. Pretty happy with this side. Obviously, Luke Shaw's probably going to come in for Game Week 34. If he's all fit and good to play, capitalise on the Manchester United double game week to make it a triple Manchester United, triple Brighton, and then that all those 6 players will be having doubles. We've got Salah there with doubles coming up. Haaland's going to have a double. We've got a couple of good single game week options. Obviously, Newcastle also have a double coming up. We've got double Newcastle defence. So with that in mind, I'm pretty happy with how the team is set up for the rest of the season. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed our Game Week 33 team selection. If you did, drop a like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And of course, we are trying to hit 12,000 subscribers by the end of the season, so please help us reach that goal. As always, have those notification bells turned on so you don't miss any future FPL videos in the build up to even bigger double game weeks in the rest of the season. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.